You have an idea for a digital product. Immediately, your mind jumps to the finish line. You research the best email marketing software, the perfect sales funnel template, the most advanced checkout system. You spend days setting up complex automations for a product that isn't yet created and an audience that isn't yet built. The mistake is building the highway before you know if anyone wants to take the trip. It's another form of productive procrastination. The sophisticated system feels impressive, but it's empty. It creates pressure because you've built something elaborate that now requires a successful launch to justify it. Start with the simplest possible path, a single landing page, a manual order process via email. Prove that people want what you're offering first. Add complexity only when a real problem demands it. Your future self will thank you for the simplicity, and you'll have real customers to guide your upgrades. You feel a spark to share what you know. Maybe it's about baking or basic car repair or organizing a home, but you pause. You think, I'm not a real expert. Who would listen to me? So you decide to consume more information first. You take another course, read another book, waiting to feel like a certified authority. The mistake is believing you need permission to be helpful. You're waiting for a finish line of knowledge that doesn't exist. Meanwhile, the person with slightly less experience than you starts sharing their journey, learns in public, and builds a small, trusting audience. The damage is the quiet forfeiting of your unique, relatable perspective. The most powerful connection often happens in the how I figured this out phase, not from a podium of perfection. The lesson is to reframe your goal. You are not the final answer. You are a helpful guide on the path. Start sharing from exactly where you are. Your current knowledge is valuable to someone a few steps behind. Begin there, and let your growing expertise be the story you tell along the way. You start and see a small win early on. A comment, a click, a quick response. It feels promising. You expect that pace to continue. When things slow down, doubt creeps in. You wonder what changed. You assume something is wrong. The mistake is letting early results define the baseline. Early traction is often uneven and misleading. Growth rarely moves in straight lines. Over time, unmet expectations cause frustration that effort alone can't fix. Motivation slips quietly. A steadier mindset helps. Expect variation. Build for the long term. Consistency matters more than early signals. Every session starts with small annoyances, logging in, finding files, remembering where you left off. You push through and tell yourself it's fine, but each time, starting feels harder than it should. You delay more often. Sessions get shorter. The mistake is ignoring friction. Small inconveniences quietly add resistance that drains motivation. Over time, the hustle feels heavier, even though the work hasn't changed. Friction turns effort into avoidance. Fixing small blockers early makes showing up easier. Ease keeps momentum alive. Ease. In the beginning, everything feels new. You check numbers often. Views, clicks, sales. Then the early excitement fades. The results slow down. Some days, nothing happens at all. You start wondering if it's working. You feel foolish for continuing. So you stop. Not dramatically. You just stop showing up. The mistake is assuming slow means broken. Most side hustles have a long, quiet phase where effort goes in before feedback comes out. Quitting here feels logical, but it cuts off progress right before it compounds. The calmer truth is this: silence doesn't mean failure. It often means foundation. If you can stay steady through the quiet, you give yourself a real chance to see results later. In the beginning, your reason is clear. Extra breathing room, flexibility, a small sense of control. Later, the work feels mechanical. You focus on tasks, numbers, and comparisons. The original reason fades into the background. The mistake is losing connection to your why. Without it, effort feels empty, even if progress exists. Over time, motivation drains not from failure, but from meaning slipping away. Returning to your reason doesn't require a restart, just a reminder. When purpose comes back into view, momentum often follows. You miss a few days. Maybe work got hectic. Maybe family needed you more. When you return, it feels awkward, behind, out of rhythm. You tell yourself you've already messed it up. Starting again feels harder than stopping, so you stop. Quietly. The mistake is treating one off week as a failure. Side hustles don't need perfection, they need return. Over time, this mindset turns normal interruptions into endings. The hustle doesn't fail because of breaks, it fails because you don't come back. The calmer truth is this: you're allowed to pause. Progress resumes the moment you show up again. You watch tutorials, you read guides, you bookmark tools. Every night you learn something new. It feels productive and safe. But when you look back, very little has changed. Nothing is published, nothing is offered. Learning never quite turns into action. The mistake is staying in learning mode too long. Knowledge without application quietly stalls momentum. Over time, learning becomes a loop that delays discomfort. It feels responsible, but it keeps you from testing reality. The shift is gentle. Learn just enough, then do one small thing with it. Action turns information into progress. At first, you just want to start, but then you think about branding, tools, workflows, and the perfect setup. You spend evenings researching software, you watch videos, you take notes, it feels productive. Weeks later, nothing is live. You haven't posted, you haven't sold anything. The work looks busy, but progress feels frozen. Quiet frustration sets in. The mistake isn't effort, it's overcomplication. When everything feels important, nothing actually moves forward. Complexity adds friction, and friction slowly drains momentum. The calmer approach is to strip things down. One tool, one simple offer, one place to show up. Done is allowed to be imperfect. Side hustles don't usually die from lack of ideas. They fade because they become too heavy to carry.